And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. Tonight we're talking age restrictions in restaurants. One establishment in Missouri has a hard rule for customers, and it's simple. If you weren't born after a certain year, you'll have to get to stepping and find another place to dine. And we're talking about women, they must be 30. Men, you must be 35. Our guests are here on The Factor Uncensored to talk about this new restaurant in Missouri, Bliss, where women have to be at least 30 to get in and men 35. So, Jasmine, you've owned several businesses before. Your thoughts on having an age restriction or age limit or age requirement at 35 and 30? Your thoughts on that?
Actually, I am so pro that. I love it. Congratulations to them. Being a bar owner, I think that I've always wanted to do it, but I didn't. I actually remember back in the day, not that I'm an old woman or anything like that, but it was parties that was like 21 and up for women, and then men had to be over 25, you know? And so at 30, 35, I think it's a great idea. I think it's a good flow of an age group. You know, I think there's a huge disconnect right now, honestly, with 21 and 35. A lot of times the places outside of my own that I go to in Houston, I don't want to go because I feel like it's a big age difference. And so therefore, I think that I have a good time. I'm around people. We kind of get it, you know, the millennials, we kind of get it, the music, not standing on couches and smoking hookah all day. Like I just, you know, I can appreciate it. Congrats to them. Do it. I wish I did it. I think it's a great thing.
All right, Raina, let's hear from you. Could you get into this bar and restaurant?
You know, I could not. As a Gen Zer, I'm actually kind of salty about it because I just turned 21, and then now y'all not gonna now I gotta wait, what, 10 more years to get into this club? I understand the premise behind it. I think that, okay, you know, you want a certain vibe in the bar and you're putting that age restriction there because that's the type of clientele that you're trying to attract. I get it. I am salty though because, man, I now gotta wait another 10 years. That's the only thing that goes through my head is that there's already an age restriction of 21 or 25 and up, and now this bar is trying to set a new standard. I feel like now that they've done it, I feel like another bars are gonna follow the leader now to do that too. That's just gonna piss me off even more, and other Gen Zers too. We can't have no fun no more. Now everything's gonna be 30 years old. I'm like, dang, I just turned 21.
We'll see you at your retirement party. How about that?
I guess so. So, but I get it. I understand it. I'm salty about it, but I'm not gonna hate on it. I think it's cool.
Zachary, you're a business owner, different kind of business than a restaurant like this. But your thoughts on this age restriction?
I mean, as a business owner, yeah, I mean, I respect them for doing it, you know, because I think they're trailblazing, they're doing something different because it's about the experience. And personally for me too, I love it because I'm turning 36 Sunday. So, you know, I appreciate it because I look like a Gen Z, like all my employees think I'm their age, but, you know, like I need to be hanging out with people my age. So it helps closes that gap. So I don't get hit on by Gen Zs because there's really nothing for us to talk about. So
nothing to talk about.
I mean, well,
we're not
okay.
all bad.
No, you're not bad. I'm just saying like there's certain things that come with age and understanding.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
I agree. And like him, I think that, you know, with the music and the vibes, you know, I know you Gen Zs want to be a part of it, you know, but then it's people like yourself who may not be able to appreciate it, right? And so it kind of takes it away from the quality, the setting the tone in the room. And I ain't got time doing TikToks and stuff in front of people. I want to hear some music, have some drinks, conversation.
Hold on.
I think
do
Gen Z's
TikToks,
party.
though. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. Gen Z's party a lot differently than I feel like millennials and older do. And I understand. I feel like when I'm 30 years old, I'll want that too. So I'm going to keep my negative comments to myself. I'm just salty, okay?
But Jasmine and Zach, let me ask you this both. You both, are you missing out on money when you set a restriction, an age restriction like that? You're missing a large group of people who could be spending money in your business.
So I'll say this So on the money side, you would think that, right? And I realized just checking the data of my space, my establishment, I received a lot of 21 that came in and they wanted to check out live music and have a good time. But when you think about the spending, it was a difference in the spending, right? Like I know that if I only had 50 people, of not saying knocking the Gen Zs, but quality that had a good time, they bought drinks, they had great time, they spent money. And a lot of times when the younger people came in, they just kind of sat there and sat on the whole drink the entire night, right? So it was hard to turn over. It wasn't the same experience, So I'm not knocking you guys, but
Yeah. No, I get it.
rather
We have a bad rep for a reason. It's because they just like to be rowdy and party and stay on one drink the whole
not
night.
knocking that, some of the experience, and not saying Gen Z do this, but counterfeit. It was some counterfeit money that happened. There was it was just a different tone, and I think for the space that I created in Houston, I want a mature crowd, people that get it. There's a lot of bars and a lot of clubs that cater to that, and that's okay. But there is a disconnect between the two, and what does a 40-year-old need to be talking to a 21-year-old for?
Mm-hmm. That's
and, when you set the atmosphere for something, you're going to attract that crowd and that demographic. So even if, I don't think they're missing out on money, because you're not going to get very many people within that age demographic going to come through and chill, because it's made for a different crowd.
All right, we want to thank you all for joining us, and let's see if there's a Bliss that will open here in Houston.
No, please don't. Please don't. No, I want to get in. Houston, I can get in pretty much everywhere right now.
You can come to Le Chateau Houston anytime, love. Come to Houston.
I'm going to go.